Hello, all my creative friends out there. How are you doing today? All right, so no little box today. Sorry, it is charging. So, I found what I think to be a nice contrasting color, even though you're not going to see much of it at all. But this is the 12 by 12 is just a lot nicer to have when you're covering your boxes, you know, display box or whatever it is that you're covering. Because this is an 8 by 10. If you had to do it by, you know, if you had to use one of these, you've really got very little to work with. So it's really nice to have coordinating or contrasting 12 by 12 sheets to work this out. Now, in order to get the 3 pieces, the back and the 2 sides done, I'm going to need 3 of these. Now, I only have 7 of these, so we're going to be very frugal. But like I said, you're not going to see a ton of this, but I think I have enough. I've kind of gone through in my head what all I have to do, and I think I have enough to get everything covered. But we can always bring in another sheet of something. Not a problem. Okay, so as you can see, I am going to attach 2 pieces, well, 3 pieces of the 12 by 12 together, so we can go ahead and get this box started. Yeah, baby. Okay, now you want to make sure that you're burnishing these down very well. They're not really going to be holding a lot of weight to them or anything, but you know, you don't want things coming apart. That is for sure. I got a little left on the edge there. All right, and I'm just gonna put this on my, and then move it. Take the time to line it up and then move it. That's always fun. Okay, so I'm lining this up. It would have been nice had this been 13, so that when you put a 12 by 12 piece on there, you can see there we go. Burnish. Okay, and then one more time. So this is going to be a very large sheet because it's 12 by 36. And you know I'm not going to be able to get that all in camera, but we will work through that. We will work through that. Okay, just gonna, again, line this up. There we go. Burnish down well. Okay. So, for my 3 pieces, and I'm going to write these down as I do them. What do I have that I can write down on? Okay, here we go. We'll get one of these pieces out. Okay, I just made myself a little quick notebook the other day, and so that's what I'm going to use. Okay, so we have 3 8 by 10. So there's the first part of the cuts. I am going to be utilizing this. I'm trying to get things, old things out of my stash. And I have had this for many years. And it's not Suquine tape. It's Terrific tape by Sparkle and Sprinkle, which I don't know that they do this anymore. It's been a long time since I've gone to a convention or anything, so I don't know if they're out there still. They may be. Wonderful company. Family owned, at least when and I say knew them very lightly. I didn't know them, but I would see them at the different things. And the one daughter who was super talented, she lived in California and her mom lived in Florida. And the company was in Florida. But the daughter would work all the shows. And super talented gal. Woo! But I don't know if they're still around. It would be nice to think that they were. Alright, so we're going to just tuck this right up against all of this here stuff. And that's going to be perfect. Okay. So we will burnish these down. I'm going to go ahead and do the other two and come back. No need you watch all this boring stuff. Okay, so we've got the tape on. Now, really, if you guys don't have any tape that you're trying to use up, because, you know, things have shelf lives. And I don't know how many times I've gone to pick up something and work with it and it's dried up or, you know, just doesn't work like it used to or whatever. So I am totally all about let's use up what we've got in our stash. You know, I pulled out papers before and they've had an edge around the, you know, where they were maybe had papers that had moved and they were different colors, which for like junk journaling and stuff, that's great. People just love that stuff. But for mini album makers, you know, maybe not so much unless you're doing a grungy one. So, yeah. Let's go ahead. Oh, yep, there we go. 1, 2, 3, my husband is out mowing, so if you hear a noise, I apologize right up front. And it really doesn't matter if you got pieces overhanging because, you know, we're going to be utilizing this. It's going to go over the edges, you know, come back and glue on itself anyway, so it's no problem. So the only thing you want to make sure of when you have a sheet put together like this, and I like to leave about 3/4 of an inch and then about 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch probably because this is a box instead of a book. We just want to make sure that we're not going to have the seams in a fold area, and we will not if we start over here. And let me just make, for those of you who would like to see a nice way of keeping your stuff neat and tidy. So I'm going to do 3/4 of an inch in, and I'm just going to take my pencil and draw a line. And then I want to do 3/4 of an inch up. So I'm just going to take a pencil and draw a line. And I'm going to do this one more time. here so that it'll carry me through all 3 pieces. All right, so let's go ahead and lay our first piece down just right on the fold line. Okay, and we will flip this over at the end. Now, I want to fold this way, and I want it to be on top, I think, of this piece. So, come on. Let's see where that leaves me. Okay, so I do want to leave about 1/8 of an inch. And the other way that you can do this is take your remaining board or a piece and give you a good spacing, because it's a little different than when doing books. You know, your covers, because you don't want that soft space like books have in between the spine and the cover. You want this display box to be nice, and when you have one overlapping the other, pull the bottom one up first. Yep, pull the bottom one up first. Then you can make sure you get that rest of that one burnished down prior. Okay, so here's this. I'm just going to put this right up against, and I want this to be even on my line. Come up just a little bit. There we go. In. There we go. And that's going to be perfect. Just give you a little bit of tension. Okay. All right. And then the next one. Going to go ahead and that one is on the bottom. So let's get this one. And this one. So much easier than trying to spread glue. Let's give this a little burnish where it was on top. And last one. Okay. I should have emptied my garbage can. I usually do, but this time I did not. Okay, so I'm going to find here we go. Line it up, top and bottom. Why does it look thicker there than there? There we go. And good. And that should, yep. Okay. All right, now let's flip this over and give it a good burnish. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. See, I plan on using very little of the paper on this and probably more twine with seed beads and pearls. I mean, this is really going to be kind of a nice showcase, I hope. I hope. Take a quick sip. Excuse me, thank you. Okay. Now, I'm going to take the same ruler and I'm just going to give myself a 3/4 inch. And I'm going to cut it off there. All right. My goodness. That is a notification from my Etsy shop. So somebody's asking me a question or something. A lot of questions. I guess. Okay, so this is going to be very well needed. So keep up with that. And we're going to, where am I? We're going to go ahead and take our 1/4 inch or whatever it is that you have, and we're going to put it all around the edge here. Is this the edge I want to put it on? Let me think. No, not really. I'm going to take that off. I want to do the outside edge of the paper is what I want. Yeah, you guys might want to just watch this and then come back, because I'm thinking through this as I go, and I would hate for you to you know, to make that mistake. I can't get it on video, guys, but I'm just putting it, the score tape all around the outside edge of the paper. Okay, so all around the outside edge of the paper. And this is just going to help attach things to each other more quickly. Because I'm not, usually when you do your score tape on top of, that means you're kind of folding this over and sealing it down, and I'm not doing that. This is what's going to hold, you know, in some spots it's going to hold the rest of the box together. So, and I will be doing structure strips. For those of you who don't know what structure strips are, they're usually 1 inch wide cardstock paper, and you score it down the center so it's a 1/2 inch on both sides. So, and then like where this fold is, you would put a structure strip in there just to help strengthen that and protect it, you know. So there will be structure strips that will be made out of this paper, and then structure strips that will probably be made out of, I don't know. We're just going to have to see how much paper I have. Now, the bottom, which is, where to put it? Whoa. Here it is. The bottom, which is my grandson's beautiful artwork, is going to be this part. And here you can see that these will fold around. See that? And that is going to be what holds the bottom together. And then I will do structure strips on the inside. So, you know, that's pretty much it for creating the sides and bottom of our display box. I mean, there you go. The top, will just be folded around on itself. So that probably, I could probably just finish this over here and it would just help hold all that together. And that will just give us a nice top edge. Okay, so that's that. I'm hesitating because I'm thinking that I am forgetting something, but if I go ahead, thinking out loud here, guys, so just keep with me. If I go ahead and put this part together, there we go. And there we go. So if I go ahead and put this part together, I can then go ahead and make my drawer, my inner, the top part of the drawer, and yeah, so I'm good. We can go ahead and do this. We can go ahead and do this. So now what am I going to want to do? First thing, and I'm just going to use this art glitter glue because I'm trying to get this one out of here. I don't want to refill it till I empty it. Okay, so I'm also going to put a little bit of glue on both, you know, down the center of these two, just to help them get glued together. And then right along, and I'm actually putting glue on the chipboard and not on the paper. I mean, yes, it is on the paper, but I'm actually putting it on the bottom of the chipboard because that is what I want to have, you know, to stick. And I'm going to go ahead and remove this bottom piece, trying to make sure I can keep you guys as well in frame as possible. Okay, so I've removed the bottom piece. Now, there is one side that fits a little bit better than the other, I was finding out. Okay, so I am going to, they're actually both the same. I think there's just one side of the, one corner that's expanded a little bit. Okay, so I am pushing this right up against the bottom of this piece. And I'm going to bring this one up and push right along the bottom. Okay, so get it pushed. Okay, now the only thing that I need to do that I did not do was give a cut. I'm going to push this down and then I'll show you because I can't do it. I'm going to give a little bit of a triangle cut. So there's one. Right where the side and the back meet. So let me pull this back up so you can see. See that? Okay, so now I can bring this up, attach it the best you can, and then flip it over. Okay. I don't know which way this is going to work better. Maybe like this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and, see, this is just about out, and put some glue down here. I'm going to flip this up and around. Try and keep everything nice and tight. I didn't get that quite as tight as I'd like right there in that corner. So the corner's a little, but I have a feeling I'm going to find something to do on those corners as well. I'm not going to worry about the end here. They stick up. I will take care of that afterwards. Okay, and I'm going to re-glue. It's very tacky, so it's right the way we want it, but I'm going to go ahead and put some more glue here. And get some glue here. Okay, so we're going to fold this side up and put the bottom, put this side piece onto the top of the bottom piece. Does that make sense? Make sure it's nice and snug. Start bending it around. Don't let it slide away. Don't let it slide away. And then do it this way. Okay. All right. So there is our beginning box. And now it's a little bit shorter than 8. A little bit shorter than 8. But it's going to be adorable. So our book, let's see. There is, yeah, 5 and 13. So it's about 7 and 7/8 now. Maybe 7 3/4. So that's fine, because I can make a book that's like 7.5 wide, and it'll be perfect. Let me go ahead and take my little flags off of here. Just wanted to show you those so you could see what I was doing. Okay, so because what's going on top is not a solid piece, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut, I want you to be able to see this. I'm going to cut these corners, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come at an angle, and I didn't go all the way to the edge because I want to make sure that this chipboard gets covered. Now the only piece I'm going to actually do is this little small piece. Okay, I'm just going to fold that over, so then that'll be out of the way. So I'll do the same thing here. And I'm just aiming for the corner of where the two pieces are meeting, but I'm staying away about 1/8 of an inch so that, again, everything is going to be covered. All right. So it grabbed before I was ready, because it does have some tape. Okay, so now I'm taking the top bit of tape off from the side. There we go. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue. Yeah, you can see. And I'm telling you right now, this looks, it looks small. But I think by the time I do the book and the drawer and the scene, I'll probably be ready for it. You know, I don't want it to be so big that, well, I don't have the paper to do. I only have one set of 8x8, so I don't really have the paper to do a humongous book, nor do I have the paper to do a humongous display box. Besides, how big is too big for some home decor type piece, you know? This would be able to go on a shelf, and the front would be very beautiful to look at. It could go on a coffee table, you know, anywhere. it can go anywhere. I just hope that whoever ends up with this will put pictures in it and enjoy it. But you will have the drawer to stick pictures in and things like that, because it's going to be about, you know, 7 3/4 by 4 1/4, I think it was. Yeah, so we'll be good. Maybe 4 1/8, but you'll be able to get your pictures in there. That is for sure, because that, to me, it's all about 4x6 pictures. All about them. All about them. 4x6. 4x6. I hate having to cut my pictures down. And I think that people that are not crafty don't like doing that. They're used to buying those books where you can just slide your pictures in. Well, this is so much better, but you got to make it easy for people to do if they're going to want to buy your book. All right, so now I have and I'm going to need to cut more, and I'm going to need my box, and I'm going to need some more room. Give me some room, people. There we go. Okay. All right, so I have a drawer front, a drawer back, but these are not really cut. And then I needed 2 drawer sides, which I have here, but they're not going to be by 8. The sides are only going to be like 4 1/4. So, you know, nothing is really cut properly yet. Okay, so let's see what we've got to do to get this done. Now, this is my top, right? Yes, this is my lid. Yeah, this is going to be my lid. So we're going to be good with that. That's coming over with the rest of these other pieces. Right now I'm going to work on the drawer. Again, I am thinking out loud as I go, so please wait until I'm done to get the proper measurements. Where's my paper? I do need to write down that you need 2 pieces 8 by 8. Okay, so there's that. So far, that's the cut list. Now, for the drawer. The drawer, what did I have here? I think this was the drawer top. Top shelf of drawer. So this is 4 1/4 by 8. All right, so that is it's not that high. It's only going to be about 2 inches, so it's going to be to about here. Yeah, that's going to be good. So that's our drawer space. And then you see back here where you have the drawer, then the book will slide back in here and you'll have the top. It looks like it's a lot of space here, and it is, but I plan on a good part of this, and I might make my drawer a little higher. I think I could make it a little higher and we'd be fine. And the 8 by 8 probably would have been fine, but it's fine either way. It's fine either way. But I do plan on, I'm going to be doing some clay work, and I'm going to be doing some painting and Mod Podge pop stuff probably, you know, so yeah. But here is the drawer front. And that will cover that. And that will be that. Yeah, I think we're going to be good. I think we're going to be good, and I am going to stick with my original 2-inch drawer. If you're filling that up with pictures, it's time to put it into the album. Okay, so this is definitely what we need. And we are at 4 1/4, yes, by 8, 13 to 5, yeah. So there is one piece, top shelf, and probably the drawer bottom. I think the drawer bottom, and this does not look like it got cut straight. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 1/4. If I run it down that line, yeah, it got smaller and smaller. So this did not get cut straight. Or, you know, it was, I don't know. So I cannot use this for my drawer bottom because it's not going to be large enough. If I run that all the way down, yeah, it's almost 1/8 of an inch down here, and I do need it to be, there's 6, I need it to there, and that's almost 1/8 of an inch short. And it's just, it's hard enough doing this stuff, but when it's not cut straight, it's a tush pain. Let's see, is this 8 inches this way? Yes, it is. Okay. Okay, so I think you're going to need 2 pieces. Let's see. 1 piece at 8 by 4 1/4. So 8 across, 4 1/4. Okay, so that's 1 piece of that. That is the top shelf of drawer. These are sides, and this is top and bottom. Okay. And at the end, I will do centimeters. Okay, so there's that so far. The drawer is just going to be a little bit tinier. Just a little bit tinier. I don't know about the front of the drawer yet, but this one I am going to cut, whoa, at 8 inches. Which I think it's already there. Nope, there is a, let me cut it at 4 1/4 first. I think that is going to be a lot easier. There we go. Is it 4 1/4 I want on this? Yes, because that's the depth. But no. This needs to be 4 1/8. Let's do this at 4 1/8. So I'm taking off just a smidge more. There we go. Okay. And so that is 4 1/8 by 8. And that's just losing a teeny bit. Okay, just a teeny bit. All right, so this over here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it did not. because 8 is not going to slide through there. So not 8. 7 and 7/8. Let's do that. 7 and 7/8. That's what I need. See, I told you guys, don't do anything until I come up with, with the proper doodads. Okay. So now we're going to get 7 and 7/8 by 4 and 1/8. 7 and that is going to slide in there very nicely. Okay. See, I don't think I'm going to have any paper down in here. I will definitely cover this piece with some paper, but I don't think right where the drawer is going to be that there's going to be much in the way of paper other than structure strips. Which I should probably go ahead and put in so I can see if this is going to work before I actually mark it down. So, as much as I hate to cut into any of this, I am going to cut myself 2 1-inch strips. I'll go ahead and use this. And they don't have to be perfect because this is hand cut. There's 1. And after using, I mean, it still cuts it, but it does leave a very rough edge. But none of this is getting seen. After using this blade on chipboard for so long, it definitely, roughs it up a bit. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, do it this way. It's so much easier for me. And we're going to do a 1/2 inch. And let's just move this up and finish it off. Okay, so there is the beginning of structure strips. And then we're going to, yeah, I've got it right here. Now you can use 3/4 of an inch. Some people actually use the 1/2 inch. I mean 3/8 of an inch, not 3/4. This is 3/8 inch, so it pretty much fills the space. So you want right in between the edge. Well, I actually prefer to put it on the edge, and then I put glue down the center, and that way, you know, it's holding everything, and you're getting glue in that need. Some people put score tape all the way across. It just depends on what you want. I find I have a little more control if the center just has glue in it. But everybody's different. Some people are so used to working with score tape that they don't have a problem with it. Some people are not used to working with score tape at all and I absolutely hate it. I am somewhere in the middle. I love that I have score tape. I love that, you know, when I want it, I can work with it pretty easily. But I'm not the type to put score tape everywhere because it is expensive. Comparatively to glue, it is expensive. Okay, so I'm just going to stick this inside the box here. I'm sorry, none of my So I'm just putting it all the way to the edge, and I'm going to make a mark where it's, you know, to the edge, and then I'm just going to cut it. Save these, because when we make our drawer, we will need that. And I don't assume that it's going to fit, you know, one side. I measure both sides. And I'm bringing it a little bit back, just a smidge back from the edge. Because when this gets pulled forward and around, no, it won't, because it's not going to be. But yeah, it's still a little bit back from the edge. Now, I am going to kind of open this up. I'm going to take the score tape off, the score tape backing. Yeah, there we go. Okay. My husband and I made arrangements to go camping in August now. That RV is getting some good workout. And but it's only 45 minutes away from the house. It's a Kentucky State Park, State Resort Park. Oh, come on. For crying out loud. Everything's been a little discombobulated today. There, Sheila, said that for you. All right. I think it's just because I got so much going on. I'm finally feeling well enough to get that down in the corner. There we go. Okay. And then you're just going to come behind, and you want to make sure that that glue, I can't really show you. You're going to, you know, give it a good burnish. Get that glue down into those cracks, and it's really going to help give this better structure, you know, stronger. It's not going to start getting wiggly and stuff. Okay, so if you can see that. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I have burnished it already. I'm going to go ahead and take the ends off. There we go. Put some glue down. Sorry, I'm trying to use this one up, so it does take it a little while to get down. There we go. I'm not putting it on the tape. I'm not a big believer in putting glue on tape. I feel like it doesn't allow either one to really work the way it's supposed to. So I'm folding it in half, and I'm putting that folded edge down into the corner. If you want to take like a stylist and work it down into that corner. There we go, before you really get the glue down. That worked much better than trying to do my fingernail. So there you go. Alrighty. Now, let's take this and see, are we going to slide nicely? Okay. Only if I make sure that my sides are sitting on top of this one, which is how I like to build them. So, there's going to be paper on the drawer So I'm thinking that I'm going to cut this down to 7 3/4. Because once you add the sides, that's one paper. Then you're going to decorate the sides, that's another paper. And so that's worth about, you know, four layers of paper is probably a good 1/8 of an inch. And you're going to want it to slide. So I think we take another 1/8 off of this. That's what I think. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm leaving it at 4 1/8. And I'm going to take this down to 7 3/4. Okay. When you're cutting such a small piece off, you really need to make sure you're not allowing it to move. Okay. So, now we can do our final 7 3/4 by 4 1/8. This is the top shelf, 4 1/4 by 8. This is the drawer bottom. So paper right here. So I need 1 7 3/4 by 4 1/8, and that is the drawer bottom. Okay, so there, you're gonna see this several more times, so don't worry about it. Okay, and you can always pause it and write it down. It's all good. So my drawer bottom, now I need my sides, and they're going to sit on top of my drawer bottom because I can't have my drawer bottom any further out than it is. So basically they just need to be, let's see, my drawer front is going to be sitting stuck to all of this. So yeah, it needs to be the 4 1/8. And all I'm going to do is line these up, flip them over, draw a line, and I'm going to cut that line off, and that will make it the perfect size. Okay? So, line them up, draw a line, and then cut off the line. Yeah, my husband is right here at the door. Yep. At the window, I mean. I don't have a door here. Just a window right over there. Alright, so we're going to cut that line off, off. Here we go. So there is one. Very nice. Is this the side I need? Yes. And there's that one. I'm sure that will come in handy somewhere. Another project probably, but okay, so these 1 2 3 4 and 1/8 by 2, and you're going to need 2 of these, and these are the drawer sides. 4 1/8 by 2 drawer. Oh, that's a, oh, I see, it's a big D. but it looks like a little bee. Okay, so we need 2 4 1/8 by 2, and that is the drawer sides. Okay. The top shelf is going to need to be covered and wrapped. So yeah, sorry, I'm changing gears already. Okay, so we've got the 2 drawer sides. Now I need a drawer front and back. And I have these. And the first thing I'm going to do is make it, well, now wait a minute. If I do this the same size as this, I'm thinking I might leave these at 8. But, and that is going to keep the drawer looking the same size, even though it's smaller. That's going to keep the drawer the same size as the rest of the box. Yeah. The drawer back will need to be cut down, but the drawer front, I believe, and the drawer back actually needs to be no. So the drawer back needs to be the same 7 3/4 by 2. So let's just make this. Is that the way? Yes, because it will fit along with these. Okay, so I'm going to cut this line off and I'll write that measurement down. And I need to cut that line off. So put that right there. There we go. And let me make sure that it's the same. Perfect. Okay, so this drawer back is 7 3/4 by 2. Okay, so there's your drawer back. That's going to fit right on there. These are going to fit right on here. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's good. That's good. And this will fit right here. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be good. Okay, so, and then the drawer front will be still the 8. I'm pretty sure on the drawer front that it's going to be 8 by 2. Okay, so I have the drawer bottom, the drawer sides. So those 2 are taken care of. The top shelf, I need 1 7 3/4 by 2, and that is the drawer back. I'm losing my point on my graphite pencil. And 1 8 by 2, and that is the drawer front. Okay. So now we're going to put the drawer together. Okay, and here are the top shelf, 8 by 4 1/4, drawer bottom, 7 3/4 by 4 1/8, drawer sides, 2 at 4 1/8 by 2, drawer back, 1 at 7 3/4 by 2, and the drawer front is one 8x2. Okay. So now, first I'm going to go ahead and wrap my top shelf, and I am going to need so I'm going to do 3/4 of an inch all the way around. So let me go ahead and get that line drawn. Let's see where this fits now. It'll be that, and then 3/4 of an inch away from this. Okay, so there we go with that. Guys, I'm going to take a break and I'll be right back. Hey guys, okay, so this is the drawer, and I wanted to, you know, I'm trying to save paper, so normally I would have had to put two together and use it that way. So I'm trying this way. We're going to end up with some probably not usable parts, but I think this is probably the best way, is to only do, you know, only have to use one of my pieces of paper. I have all, in order to save time, I have already cut the sizes of structure strips I need, and I've got those all ready to go. So, and I've also put my double-sided tape on. So, we are really ready to go. I made a line here so I would know where the first one went, because I got it all lined up before I got you guys on here. But anyway, we are, if you have more paper, by all means, go ahead and use a regular sheet. But I don't. So and whether this is better or not, I really don't know. But now, these are the same size, so I am going to use one in order to, you know, do the other. But actually, I think I need to use this size instead of this size. The size I want it to go up over top of. So that is the size I need. So I'm going to go ahead and just put all of these down. My drawer sides. I'm going to pull this back so I can line this up perfectly. There we go. And then that should put me right on top. And it does. Good. Good, 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 good. Okay, and then this side. Oh, nope. I did burnish all of them, but maybe I missed one. Or missed a corner. Okay. Come on. There she blows. Okay. Put this down. Line up. There we go. Okay, for a sec I'm going to flip over and just get this down. Alright, now we have the drawer back. And I am going to put this down. Oh my God. There we go. And then we're just going to make sure this is pushed. Line it up. There we go. Okay. And I want to there we go. Just see how I'm doing. So I'm gonna have to cut here. This I could just leave long and glue down. So I might do that with those. I'm not positive. Actually, I think just to make it easy to deal with, I'm just going to continue doing what I've been doing. 3/4 of an inch. Let's see. It's 1, 2, and 3. And just draw a line. Okay. And we're going to do 3/4 of an inch here. There. And 3/4 of an inch here. Alright, leaving this spot because I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do that yet. So, in my corners, we're going to come, first I'm going to come straight down, and I'm going to leave space enough to make sure it covers everything. Now when I lean this up and bring this around and lean it up, or I can do it this way, and then I can glue that like that and that like that. But then, no, let's do it this way. So, we're going to bring that one forward and this one around. Yes, that's going to allow it to work better. Let's go ahead and cut off the excess. If you want to leave all of this excess on, you go right ahead. I actually would have been fine leaving it, but because I'm showing you guys how to do it, I'm just afraid that the excess is going to confuse you. And I don't mean that, you know, I just feel like the cleaner I keep it, the more those of you that maybe are beginners will understand what I'm trying to do. So there. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of start all of these around like that. And I'm going to go ahead and do this one because I am going to have to do something with this. Okay. Okay. Let's see. I decided that this can come in this way, so I need to cut out a little triangle, but yet again, I'm going to leave enough that I'm going to be able to cover my paper. But yeah, each one of these little bits leave enough to cover that paper up here. This one doesn't have near as much, so we're just gonna take a little bit off of this one. There we go. Oh, and this one. Okay, and this one here. Okay, now I am going to glue, if I can pick the darn thing up. Get this little tidbit off the end here. I think I need a needle. I think I need a needle. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put this is art glitter glue. You can use anything you want. I'm going to put on the end of the side here glue. Let it get a little tacky, because if it's a little tacky, it's going to work better. And I am putting it on the side of the chipboard, not on the paper. And I'm going to go ahead and do this one. This one had a little bit that didn't get glue on it, so okay. So now I started with this one. I'm going to make sure that I get this pushed up onto the top of the drawer bottom. And it did push up. And I'm going to, let's see, there's a bottle of water to hold it. I'm going to do the same thing here. There we go. Okay. And oh, I did not cut down the center here. There we go. That will be very helpful. Okay. Now we're going to fold these ends in, and we're going to bring this up and onto the back of the drawer as well. Okay, so let's take a little bit of glue on this side. And you want it to line up flush with the end. So you want this to lay absolutely flat, flush against the end here. So I'm going to flip this around this way. There we go. And then I'm going to take this outside piece and I'm going to pull it around and get a nice corner. Okay. So there we go. That is a nice tight corner. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to take this inside piece let's glue a little bit more glue where that belongs. And we want to make sure we're pulling this so it is flush with the drawer back. So the drawer side should be absolutely flush with the drawer back. Just take your time. There we go. There's a little bit of play right there, and I don't like it. So we're going to really concentrate on making sure that we are getting this nice and tight and pretty. Bring this around. Okay, now I'm going to take, and I'm just going to scrape off the excess glue so I don't have huge amounts of it, because I did have some pretty good size little hunks. Okay, so there's that. So now I'm going to take all these little tidbits. Now you can use double-sided tape for all of this if you want. This glue dries fast, so if you do it like this, make sure that you're going to work quickly. So I have a nice flat drawer front. And there we go. All right. So that is a lovely drawer front. Well, drawer. We don't have the front on it yet. And it is sliding in very nicely. It's snug, but it does have a little bit of play in it. But once you start getting more and more paper on there, like I probably will not put any paper on the sides. We will decorate the inside of the box, but I think if you put too much more paper, it's not going to slide in nicely. So you have to keep in mind all of the added layers that you're putting on your drawer when you're figuring out how big you want the drawer to be. So I left it at a quarter. Well, no, it actually was not, because this is, let's see, it's not going to be right there. So here, it is 7 7/8. So it's an 1/8 of an inch smaller. Could have gone another 1/16 of an inch and probably would have been able to put decorative paper on there. I'm not worried about it, however. Not worried. Okay, so I have my little structure strips. I've already got well, I had the sizes cut to the piece, but this one is going to be a little smaller. Let's see, will that work? Little bit smaller. There we go. Okay. So I am going to put, instead of glue on the structure strip, I'm going to put glue right down the center. And I'm going to take off the covers on the double-sided tape. And just slide it right in there. Let's get, oh no, I didn't, there it is. I'm going to use my, there we go, because I want that down in that corner. So I used my stylist to get it down in the corner, and then burnish down well. There we go. It is coming along very nicely, very nicely. See, I had two side pieces. Here they are. And what I did was, out of some of the other pieces that I had left, I cut more 1-inch pieces. And I measured what I needed, and then I put the sequin tape on there, because I did not want I didn't want to have wasted sequin tape. And usually, you know, there's 1 to 2 inches on every strip that you're not using, and that can turn into a lot of sequin tape. So, okay, so these little side pieces I'm going to go ahead and put down. Again, I'm just going to put some glue. Going to pinch it right down in there. This is just a little long. Pinch it right down in there. Take your stylist. Now don't put too hard where you're going to make a hole, and then burnish. Burnish down to give it more stability. Okay. And again, now you are going to need 4 of these, which I have 2 more ready for when we figure out what we're going to do for the front. Where am I? This is going to be a long video. Let's see, am I going to cut this down a little bit? Yes, I'm going to cut it down. It's coming all the way to the top, and I don't want it coming all the way to the top. So, there we go. Before I, whoopsie, a smaller one will work better. Okay, and then burnish the rest of it down. There we go. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to have to think on what we're doing on the bottom. Got my little side pieces here. And, yeah, these are going to be fine. So I'm going to end the video here. And so when we come back, we will put on the top shelf that the drawer is going to fit under. We'll put that on. We'll put the drawer in, and that way I can see how I want to do my drawer front, if that makes sense, if I said that correctly, which I hope I did. I hope I did. There's that. Now the inside is going to get decorated. So, you know, these are just to help maintain some good stability for this box. And then the other one here. But, I mean, gosh, guys, we are almost done with the main part of the display box. So, what we have left is the lid. The shelf and the drawer. Once the shelf is in, we can figure out the front of the drawer. And then that part will be done. Yeah, this one is a bit too long. Let's see how this is. Still. There we go. A little help from my stylist. Alright, guys. I thank you for watching. I am so excited about this project. But go through your stash, really. Go through your stash. See what you got that you might like to have to make a really pretty display box of. You know, like if you're a steampunk kind of person, oh my gosh, you could totally put on this shelf that we're going to do, you could totally put like an alarm clock and have all of the gadgetry and everything and make it look like it's the alarm clock broke and spewed out all over. Or, I mean, there's so many different possibilities to do. If you want to make it about, about medieval times or whatever, you can build little cabinets. You can put little things on the cabinets, put books in there. You could do something for Halloween. You could do something for Christmas. The sky is the limit of what you could do with this. So don't just see, oh, she's doing something nautical and I don't like that. Or I don't live someplace nautical. Because I'm not going to have this in my house. I'm not... I live near a lake, but it's not really... I mean, we have 2 small ponds on our property, but we're not thought of as a nautical location. So, this is just not anything that... Unless I had it for some large family reunion or something like that, I would maybe do this. But I have a feeling that whomever buys this is going to be somebody that lives near an ocean or near a large lake, or, is very water-oriented space. So, anyway. Okay, so far, that's what we got. We got this coming in good. This piece will do the front. This all will just get folded under to make a pretty side. So we're getting there, guys. Hang in there with me. It'll all make sense before too long. Bye for now.